Today I want to show you a build inspired by a video from Gamey Daddy. He was showcasing the start of a Deflector shield build he was working on, but it seemed to me that he was unsure how to finish it. So I thought I'd take the time out to help him on the right path to finishing the build. So Gamey Daddy, this video's for you and for anybody that might think the Deflector shield is trash. The hard part is going to be trying to convince you all that it's not. Now after a few days of dying to almost everything I ran into, I wanted to give up on the build. But I sat back and gathered all my thoughts about all that I had learned from putting together several Bulwark shield builds. And this is what I came up with. I put together two PvP builds that I'm currently still working on, and one PvE build that's complete. So today I'll be showing you clips from the PvP build, but what I really want to focus on is the PvE build. Now as I do with most of my builds, I create them with solo play in mind. I do this because I don't want you to heavily rely on a team when it comes to my builds. I want my builds to be strong enough so that if the rest of your team goes down, the build will be strong enough to give you the opportunity to res them. Now when it comes to the PvP variants, they rely heavily on team play. Its biggest weakness are experienced players that would rather shoot you in the head than shoot at the shield, especially after they realize they're doing damage to themselves. But as I've said, let's start out with the PvE version, because this is the build that I'll be focusing on today. To start out with, we are using the Technician specialization for the extra skill tier and extra skill damage, but most importantly for the Artificer Hive. The Artificer Hive is going to be the most important part of this build. It is what is going to allow us to keep the shield up as long as possible. I see other content creators using the Artificer Hive, but I don't think they realize just how powerful it is for shield builds, because they always say you're going to need the Artificer Hive for this build, and then they move on. They never go into how powerful it can be. Similar to the medkit or the overdose in the Division 1. In between its short cooldowns, the Artificer Hive acts as a constant healer for your shield. Now I want to show you just how powerful the Artificer Hive can be with another build. This build utilizes the full potential of the Artificer Hive. It can heal the highest HP shield from almost nothing to completely full in one burst. So with the Artificer Hive on this build, 99% of the time, you will go down before your shield goes down. So the Deflector shield is no longer the weakest part of your build. The weakest part of your build will be you, which is why we need as much armor and armor regen as we could possibly get in this build. With the skill tier that I'm getting from the Technician specialization, the TDI pistol, and the Mother's Love gloves, I am kicking out 56.3% skill repair with my Artificer Hive. Moving on to the weapons, I like to incorporate long range, mid range, and short range weapons into my builds. Being in a group, you won't have to worry about this, but as a solo player, you might want to consider it, because you don't want to get caught in your menu looking for a sniper rifle for that grenader that's far off that you can't hit. But as always, run what you feel comfortable with. For the long range weapon, I am using the White Death sniper rifle. It is a named weapon that comes with a higher headshot damage. It has marksman rifle damage, headshot damage, and critical hit damage. For the talent, I am using Ranger. I'm using this talent because I will only be using this weapon at range, so it's nice to have a guaranteed damage buff no matter what target you're hitting. Ranger amplifies the weapon damage by 2% for every 5 meters you are from the target. The mods on the weapon are the C79 scope. I don't always like to be scoped in, especially when you're surrounded by NPCs.
No, you want to.
So with this scope, it's nice to be able to switch back and forth between the two. This scope comes with 5% critical hit chance. Next I have the Stiff Integrated Spring for its 5% weapon damage. And finally, the Laser Pointer for its 5% critical hit chance. Moving over to the mid-ranged weapon, I'll be using the Dark Winter. This is a named SMG. It comes with the talent Perfect Killer. Killing an enemy with a critical hit grants 50% critical hit damage for 10 seconds. For the attributes, I have SMG damage, critical hit chance, and critical hit damage. For the mods, I am using the Russian Red Dot Sight for its 5% critical hit damage. Next is the oversized 45 ACP mag for its 20 rounds, but it comes with a negative 10% reload speed. Next is the Laser Pointer for its 5% critical hit chance. And for the last mod, I have the Osprey 45 Suppressor for its 5% critical hit chance. For my short-range weapon, I am using the named TDI custom pistol called the Card. It comes with a free skill tier as long as you have the weapon in hand. It also comes with pistol damage, and for the talent, I am using In Sync. This talent, believe it or not, works with the Deflector shield. With the In Sync talent, hitting an enemy with your weapon grants 15% skill damage, and hitting an enemy with your skill grants 15% weapon damage. These increases are doubled while both buffs are active. The mods on this weapon are the Rugged Mini Reflex Sight for its 5% critical hit chance, the Extended Pistol Mag for its 11 extra rounds, and the Compact Coupled Small Laser Pointer. Wow, that's a mouthful. This will give you 10% critical hit chance. And we also have the Flash Hider 9mm for its 5% critical hit damage. Now, getting into the build, I have a Bellstone Armory Mask. This will give us 1% armor regeneration. For the core attribute, it has armor. The other two attributes are skill damage and armor regen. And the mod slot is protection from elites. Next is the second piece of Bellstone, which is the chest piece. This will give us 10% armor on kill. For the core attribute, I've got armor, and for the remaining attributes I have explosive resistance and armor regen. The mod on this piece will also have protection from elites. The talent on the chest piece is Kinetic Momentum. With Kinetic Momentum, when you are in combat, your skills generate a stack for skill damage as well as skill repair. This will benefit both your Artificer Hive as well as your Deflector shield. For my holster, I'm using the Golden Gear Limited. I don't really need the status effect for this piece, but it leads me into the armor regen on the other piece that I do need. The status effect will, of course, help when I break weak points on enemies, but other than that, it's really not that useful. For the core attribute, I have armor, and for the secondary attributes, I have repair skills and skill damage. Moving on to the backpack, I have my second piece of Golden Gear for its armor regen. It has a core attribute of armor, and the secondary attributes are explosive resistance and status effect. Ideally, you would go with skill damage here instead of the status effect, but we have to make do with what we get. Now for the talent, I am running Combined Arms. With this talent, shooting an enemy increases the total skill damage by 25% for 3 seconds. This talent will stay active as long as you are hitting an enemy. For my gloves, I am using the Mother's Love. These gloves come with 20% repair skills. It also comes with a 10% bonus to skill health on one of its minor attributes. For the second minor attribute, I have skill damage, and for the core attribute, I have skill tier. For my final piece of armor, I have the Emperor's Guard's knee pads. I of course have no use for the skill duration that comes with this piece, but what we do need it for is worth the waste, which is the 1% armor regen that it comes with on its minor attribute. This will put us at 3% armor regen. For the second minor attribute, I have hazard protection, and for the core attribute, I have armor. Now as a side note, if you ever find yourself needing just a little extra damage in an encounter somewhere, you could swap out the mask, the holster, and the gloves to deal more damage. You'll want to put on a Coyote mask with crit hit chance, crit hit damage everywhere. You'll want to put on a Seska holster with crit hit chance, crit hit damage. You'll want to put on a Gruppo with crit hit chance and crit hit damage as well. And if you needed a higher rate, long distance rate of fire, you could always switch over to the classic M1A. But remember to be careful if you do this, because your survivability rate will go down. The thing to remember with this build is it works best when you're up close, when you're using one NPC's bullets against another NPC. Because if you're deflecting bullets from the NPC who's shooting at you, he's going to stop shooting. So it's always best to deflect his bullets onto someone else. Now, I've talked about wasting skill tiers by putting too much into your build in one of my other videos. If you look at my build, I have 5 armor and essentially 3 skill tiers. And when it comes to your shield, armor counts as a skill tier. So essentially it looks like I'm wasting 2 skill tiers, but I'm not. Those skill tiers are there for the Artificer Hive. With this build, I had to come up with a list of things that I needed to accomplish to make the build work. 1. The shield had to have as much health as possible. 2. The deflection from the shield had to do a very good amount of damage. 3. I had to have as much armor and armor regen as possible. And 4. I had to make sure that the Artificer Hive would heal the shield enough so that it wouldn't go down. What makes a Deflector shield a hard build to run is that a lot of times you're going to take damage more than the shield does. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I have tried running legendary content with this build, and it just simply is not strong enough to run legendary missions. This is mostly due to the fact that the legendary NPCs will shoot at you rather than the shield. But it is a fun build nonetheless, and more than capable of running any heroic difficulty content. I think the hardest part of creating this build was balancing it. I luckily had all of the pieces I needed to create the build, but I know it might be difficult for some of you to find the pieces to create this build. With the Deflector shield being as weak as it is, I had to find talents that worked with the Deflector shield to try to make it stronger, and to give it the damage that it needed to make this build work. Because your weapon damage is going to be very minimal so that you can maintain the armor you need to stay alive. I also had to go through talent after talent to kind of figure out what would work with this build and what wouldn't. Because there are certain skill talents that don't work with the Deflector shield. So I'm going to leave you with some game footage to show you what the build can do. I just wanted to mention that I got well over 2,000 views on my last video, and if just half of you hit that subscribe button, I'd meet my 1,000 subscriber mark. Now, you don't have to turn on that notification bell if you don't want to, but I'd really appreciate the help by hitting that subscribe button. And I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. Thanks for stopping in.
I've been waiting to use this! Get that stockpile, Agent. Everything you take from them is something they can't send to Keener.
Fuckers are in Keener supplies. I don't care what it takes. Take them out.
Take to the stockpile now.
Hostiles incoming. Hostiles approaching. Hostiles approaching. Hostiles drawing near. They killed Duchess? I want them dead! These assholes suffer!
Hostile forces incoming.
You know this has to happen! I'm going around!
Reason to burn your ass to a crisp!
Oh, this armor's done! I sure wouldn't want to be you! Sneaky fuckers got it! Take them out! Shields are no fun! I'm gonna make you pay!
Stop the fucking shit! Wait, was that one of ours?
Hostiles nearby.
Let's get some strong... You're on time!
You're done! Kiss my ass!
I'm gonna own you! You see that spot? You sure yet? Let's get some storms going!
Agent enemy have backup.
They're all up in my business! Take them out!
Reloading! I didn't know yet. This is what you deserve. Ah, got you now. God damn it! They smashed my glass! Holy shit!
Regroup at the APC.
blow this shit! Let's fuck them up! Fuck, I'm exposed! I'm gonna make you pay! Getting too close here!
Show me what you're made of!
Want to make sure no one blows me up while I'm alone?
I need a better spot to nail this fucker. I'll hold this target. Get him, boys. Time to put these fuckers down. Just die already. I got this. Take off their fucking...
Minigun power restored. Minigun power restored. Minigun power restored.
See that gun? I think I'm in love.
Minigun power restored. Minigun power restored. Serious trauma detected. Minigun power restored.
It's not working. More of a reason to burn it up.
Take
restored. Minigun power restored.
Taking it down.
Minigun power restored.
Get around that fucker with the shit. Kill him already. Take this. Just die already. Stop fucking around.
Minigun power restored.
Got a shot. Around and kill him. Shoot up!
Minigun power restored.
Fucking head! Get back up! Take off their...
Minigun power restored.
Take off their fucking heads!
Immediate medical assistance needed. Minigun power restored. Serious trauma detected.
Armor busted! Eyes on the hostile!
Minigun power restored.
Got a shot!
Rogue agent deceased. Agent in need of backup.